Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm so glad that we're to Friday. This has been the longest week ever. But I have a real treat for you today. I talked about it yesterday in a video I did about the 24-hour fast, and I spoke about adding a juice cleanse to your fast. So I'm super excited to bring my friend Kimmy Bohannon online today. She and I met in, August it was, at a business retreat, and I got to room with Kimmy actually and get to know her over the weekend as we strategized with our business and helped each other grow. But also I got to try her juices, and her juices are so good. Kimmy, I need another one because I've been craving them since I did it last. But her juices are, she's from Kentucky. So this company started in Kentucky, and she has really grown this business to be something that reaches all across the country. So she's going to tell you a little bit about that. But before that, Kimmy, just go ahead and tell us how you got started and when your business started and all of that.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate being on with you guys today. I love talking about juice. I could talk about it for days and days and days. You can't ask me a question about it that I wouldn't love answering. So thank you for having me. This is some of the most favorite part of my job. So thank you. I am Kimmy Bohannon. I'm the owner and the founder of The Weekly Juicery. I started it in my kitchen, actually, making juice for my friends. And back in that day, about 5 years ago, I was super picky juice maker. I wouldn't allow them to do any customization. They had to drink all vegetables, no fruit. And so I was really sort of a picky juice drinker. But I had about 80 customers in 3 months because people really, once you sort of incorporate drinking really high quality vegetable juice into your routine, it's kind of a game changer. Like you said, Katie, you find yourself thinking, wow, I wish that I sort of had that. So,
and one of the things about that weekend was that you brought your juices and stocked the fridge for us so we could just grab one anytime. And I was spoiled by that. I love that.
Yeah. And you can make your juice at home, but boy, it is so nice when somebody does it for you. So pressing juice is just a messy, kind of complicated process. So it's so nice and a treat when somebody does it for you. And that was really our mission, make healthy juice convenient for busy people. So it's super easy. It's 7 words. We've sort of stuck by that from the beginning. And I think we really are making the highest quality juice available in this country. I really believe that. I've had juice from kind of coast to coast, and my goal is to make something that is just the most powerful and alive juice for you guys. So I think we do that.
Yay. So one of the things that we heard from you about at that business weekend is that you are getting ready to put some more production facilities throughout the US so that shipping becomes easier, because shipping these juices is a lot of work because they have to come cold, right?
Right. That's exactly right. We are working on an expansion plan. We've had an incredible response from people around the country. We've been shipping our juices for about 6 months. We ship 6 at a time, so it's a perfect kind of one-day cleanse. And so it is available continental U.S. Canada is so tricky. So we're still sort of working that through. Across the ocean, no way yet. But right now, we can get it to everybody within 2 days. So essentially, the cleanses get made on a Monday. We get them to the flight, and they fly Monday night, and they arrive to you guys by 10:30 on Wednesday. So you could either do your juice cleanse on Wednesday or on Thursday. Either day really works. But so we're working to try and situate sort of our kitchens, maybe 3 to 4 of them around the country, so that everybody could get 1 day shipping, which would give you a lot more time, because you're right. Our juices are, you'll hear me say this a lot, alive. And I know that sounds sort of crazy, but that's actually what's super, super powerful and good about it. And I'll talk a little bit about the difference between alive juice and the nutritionally dead juice. And you want to be drinking something that's alive. So we have 72 hours.
Oh, yes. And they arrive packed in a box with a cooler and ice packs. And the cooler is really great because when you're doing your juice cleanse, you often are on the go. You're not usually at home for the whole day. So you can take them with you in this little cooler, and it's super handy. But when you get them, you want to get them right into the fridge, and they're only good for about 3 days. So you, like Kimmy said, you want to drink them pretty quickly, but we can get into details in a second. I just love, I love small business, and I love watching you grow, and it's so exciting. And you guys, Kimmy is one of those people where when you get to know her, you are your business. Like, your heart is all over it. And I loved learning from you that weekend, and your products, are amazing. So I'm so excited to talk with you about that.
Thank you so much.
Kimmy, with my clients, we do a 1 day. So I work with the clients for 3 weeks, and in the third week, we implement a 24-hour fast if they want to. And we do it on Wednesday or Thursday. And then I tell them that, they can do it without, with just drinking water and tea, or they can add the juice cleanse. So tell us a little bit about why you think that it's beneficial to add the juice cleanse when you're doing a fast.
That is actually one of the most frequently asked questions that I get, especially with working with you guys and coaches around the country that are doing work around intermittent fasting. So the way that I answer that is as follows. I've actually been doing intermittent fasting for about 5 years. I just wasn't cool enough or hip enough to really call it anything. But I've been actually following an intermittent fasting schedule for about 5 years. I learned it from a detox expert called Natalia Rose, and she's a raw foodist and an author, wrote a couple of books, Detox for Women and The Detox Way of Life. And she's just awesome. And I went through her detox training in New York for 2 weeks, and she talked to us about this idea that really to have high energy, she calls it reversing your trips around the sun. You would want to be doing a protocol, which is now called intermittent fasting. So for me personally, I don't generally eat before 1:30 or 2 after I have dinner the night before, and I know that's what you guys are working toward also. So the answer to the question is the 24-hour or the extended intermittent fast is one of the most beneficial things that you can do for your health and your well-being. Allowing your body to have that, I call it like put it on vacation, really goes a long way to reduce oxidative stress in your body. It's almost like it can breathe and relax. And so after years of potentially following a standard American diet, eating too much food, and eating foods in poor combination, our poor GI tracts are just like really overworked. So that is the most important thing. Whether you choose to do it with water or with juice, congrats to you for taking it on, because it is something that is super, super powerful for your health journey. I work with people every day, and it's sort of what I do about chasing good health. Every single day when you wake up in the morning, you should be saying to yourself, how am I chasing good health today?
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Because you do not want to find yourself in a place of unwell. So maybe you're not sick yet, but you're sort of unwell, and you just want to avoid that. And if you guys are interested in that topic, we maybe can discuss that at some point. But I have all these like indicator lights in the body that tell us that we're maybe unwell. So we don't want to do that. We want to chase good health every day. We want to reverse our trips around the sun, and intermittent fasting is a big part of that. So why might you choose to do or incorporate our juices into your fast versus just doing it with water? And here is really, I kind of have 3 reasons that you might consider it. Number one, perhaps you're somebody who doesn't really love sort of the dark leafy greens, the beets, the carrots. You've been sort of on this healthy journey, and you're sort of beginning this transition for your taste buds. But, I sort of give this example. If putting raw kale in your salad as the salad base with maybe just a little drizzle of olive oil and a little lemon juice does not sound like a great thing for you, then the juice cleanse is a good thing for you. Yes. If shaving a raw beet on top of your salad would not give you this idea that, oh, I'm adding something sweet, then a juice cleanse is a great idea for you. And then my last one is, one of my most favorite snacks is just raw carrots with a little sea salt. It's probably like one of the things that I crave almost every day. If that's not something that you might consider to be a great snack, a juice cleanse is a great thing for you, because one of the big things about our cleanses is they're vegetable centric, and that's really intentional. And I'll kind of talk about that in a little bit. It is so important when drinking juice. I think it's just imperative, actually, that the juices be vegetable centric, i.e. little to no fruit. And the juice cleanses that we put together really fit that bill. So the result, your body just gets flooded with this alive vegetable enzyme and sort of the healing power from the plants. And your taste buds get this gentle redirection that, I really want to have even an apple to eat instead of, a handful of goldfish. I don't know how many of you guys are mothers, but when you have young children and they're snacking a lot, we can sometimes as moms fall into this perilous path of always putting things in our mouth when we're feeding our younger children. So, you would want to be reaching for an apple or a handful of carrots. And after the juice cleanse, you will notice that happens for you. You'll also notice how acidic your coffee tastes the next day, because your body's pH is really alkaline, and that's a position of like homeostasis and really good health. So that's the number one thing. If you think, man, I could use some redirection of my taste buds to really feel that. And really,
it helps you reset.
Yes, it does. I call it like gentle redirection, so that it's not like crazy, but you'll just notice, wow, the next day when you wake up, I really want to like put a lot of plants in my system today. And you're not going to wake up craving a cheeseburger. I can guarantee you that. So that's the first reason that you might consider it. The second reason is just you have some trepidation or some just like, man, this is going to be so hard for me to do all day with just water. And the juice provides some support in that. You have 6 juices to drink, and, you just get, you're a little more, I guess, supplemented than just water. So if the idea of doing this fast with only water, if you don't feel like you can be successful at that, then by all means, do it with a juice cleanse. The key thing here is that our juices intentionally have no fiber, all the insoluble fibers removed. They're also veggie-centric. And those two things are important because that allows you to remain in a fasted state. If our juices had tons of sugar, it would provide an insulin response in your body. And that's, technically not what you want on an extended fast. So you want vegetables.
And actually, a lot of people ask me about your stomach hurting and does it hurt your stomach, from all the fiber? But because you remove the insoluble fiber, it really doesn't. Your digestion is just perfect and normal and better. But I did my first 24-hour fast with just water, and it was fine. I did fine, and I was very proud when I was done. But the second time I did it with the cleanse, and it was so much easier because, every time I felt hungry, I just grabbed a juice and then it was over. And it was fun because every juice is different. You get 6 different juices. So it's like, ooh, what am I going to drink next?
Yeah. And that's really true. It just provides, everybody likes some routine and some support. And so that's very, very helpful. The other thing to think about when you're drinking very high quality, well-made juice, we do take out the insoluble fiber, and that's intentional because remember, we want our body to remain at those like 2 magic words, digestive rest. So important. So really, your body really isn't digesting anything. It's kind of like got its feet up. It's on vacation while you are being flooded with, antioxidants, minerals, all these vegetables from the plant and really chlorophyll from the plant, which is just the sun's energy. So we call it like drinking liquid sunshine. So it is really, really, you'll notice you have a lot of pep in your step. And that's not crazy. That's not your mind talking. That's really true. So that's another reason that just you feel like I could use some support, and I'm gonna really kind of feel like I'll be able to be successful at it. So that's really the second reason. The third reason that you might consider doing it with a juice cleanse is that if you've never had any cold pressed juice before, it needs to be part of your health journey. And so take the step and do it. It's one of the most powerful allies in your health span journey, in my opinion. It goes a long way to reverse our sort of past choices. And it really does help us reverse those trips around the sun. You're getting just an abundance of vegetables, dark leafy greens, beets, carrots, things that you couldn't eat in the quantity that you're going to get them in this really highly concentrated juice. So it's a really, really powerful stuff, and it makes you feel amazing. So those are my sort of 3 reasons that you might try. Again, knowing that the big thing here is that you do the extended intermittent fast. That's the biggest thing. But the juice can give you a little power. It's almost like making your fast experience really nutrient dense. It's just flooding your body with that plant power.
I love that. And didn't you say, Kimmy, that so you get 6 different juices, and some of them you're going to really love, and some of them you're going to be like, no, this isn't my favorite. Didn't you say that those are the ones you need the most because your body's low in those?
Yeah, after 5 years of being a juice maker, mostly a vegetable juice maker, I've just sort of I've sort of come up with this sort of coined answer. If you don't like green lemonade, well, that means you need it the most. But in truth, I would offer this. It is not my job or my intention or my mission to make juices for you guys that taste fantastic.
Amen.
My job is to give you something, and you're really paying for just the highest quality vegetable juices. You guys can kind of think about vegetables inherently are less juicy than an apple. You can imagine that, right? Can you imagine juicing a stalk of kale versus juicing an apple? Well, it's miles different. The kale is really sort of like a thickish, medicinal, very dark. Maybe you get 1 ounce of juice from the kale. The green apple is really, pleasant smelling. It's really, smells really good. It smells really sweet. And, 1 apple is probably like 5 or 6 ounces of juice. So, but the way to make really powerful juice is to front load it with lots of kale and romaine and beets and carrots. And that's what we do, because that's what kind of makes that shift inside your body, and certainly with your taste buds, and sort of that mind-body connection of, oh man, I've just done something really, really good for myself. So my juices may not be the tastiest thing you've ever had, but I can assure you that they are really doing something for you. So that's what you're looking for. And you want to avoid lots of fruit.
Some of them, though, are like the first one you drink is the Lively Lemon, and it's lemon with cayenne pepper. Is that right?
Yes.
And it is like, whoa, I mean, it'll wake you up.
Yes, it's lively.
It's lively. But my absolute favorite, well, the 2 favorites are the Felon Melon, which is watermelon and lemon juice, and then the Orange Happy.
Yep.
What's the number?
Beet juice. Yep.
Okay.
It's a beet. And our juices, change from time to time. And that's because we really do want to, and we should be eating this way too. We really want to take advantage seasonally of what is available. So example, we're certified organic by the USDA. And I don't know if you've looked for a watermelon in your grocery lately, but you're probably not going to find one. And you're certainly not going to find one that's certified organic. So the Felon Melon won't be back in our cleanse lineup until next spring. The minute we can get organic watermelon again, we'll do it. In the fall, we shift that juice to one of our favorites called the immunity tonic, because people tend to have a variety of sniffles and congestion and germs floating around. So we switch it to something called the immunity tonic, and it is also very good. So
I haven't had that.
Katie's right. There are some that are very, very pleasing, but I want to just set the tone that I want to give you guys a really healing, restorative experience that gives a huge uplift to your health journey, and not something that just tastes good. And, the juice world has been really the recipient of so much media sensation and propaganda supreme. And that is great because it lifts our industry up. However, not all juice is created equal. And in some of that, we've lost touch, in my opinion, as an industry from what's really, really good and true for our clients. And that is next to no fruit. You can have a little, but next to no fruit, and mostly veggie centric. A couple other things or a question, and I don't know if you were going to ask this, Katie, but it's something people ask me a lot. Well, I mean, I can get juice at Target or at Whole Foods, or, I can get that somewhere else. What makes your juices different? And there are really kind of key things that I think can help you guys really be discerning juice drinkers, because juice, no matter where you buy it, is expensive. So I want to help you know that you're getting your money's worth. And so I thought I would talk about that for a second, unless you had maybe another question. Okay. So the first thing, you want your juices to be certified organic by the USDA. You absolutely, positively do not want to be drinking pesticide, insecticide, none of the sides. Bad idea. We talked about how much produce goes into the juice. So the pesticide load in juices is really, really high. If your juice, it's kind of gross. And I think it's kind of like a contraindication to good health, actually. So you want to make sure that your juices have that USDA organic seal on them. That is like super important. That assures you that the company is being inspected by the USDA at will. And if they are caught using conventional produce, it's a $10,000 fine per occurrence. So we have to submit our produce logs forward, backward, anytime they ask us. So super, super important. The second thing, you want your juice to be raw. We talked about that a little bit, which is to say we're not going to treat it with a preservation application. Most of you guys are probably familiar with pasteurization, where we heat something up like orange juice and it's good for 30, 40 days. Most juice companies now on the market use a thing called HPP, high pressure processing. Get this, they don't even have to tell you they've done it on the bottle. But the way that you'll know is that the shelf life is not 72 hours, it's 15, 20, 30 days. Stay away from anything like that, because that treatment actually happens after the juice is in the bottle. And you can imagine the plastic leaching, et cetera, 10,000 pounds of pressure applied to the bottle. So you just want to avoid that altogether. And then the last thing is you want to look on the back of the label and make sure that the ingredients are veggie centric. It should be a requirement. Companies don't always follow it, that ingredients are listed in order of dominance. I can tell you we do that. So when you flip over our juice bottle and you see green lemonade as an example, romaine is first because it has the most volume percentage in that juice. That's the way that it should happen. So I ask you to look at the label, try and see if you see a lot of veggies at the top of the list. Also, green juice should not taste sweet. If you're drinking green juice and it tastes sweet to you, skip it. Because it's probably front loaded with tons of apple, which is not really, again, we just don't want that insulin response in the body. So we want to be drinking mostly plants. So I can assure you that our juices are veggie centric. We do not treat them, they're raw, because you want the plant to be able to, if the plant's been kind of altered at its sort of really structure, it can't do the things we talked about, reversing our trips around the sun, really transitioning our body and being this really positive step in our health journey. It can't do any of that. It's nutritionally sort of dead. So we want to avoid any treatment and certified organic. So those are my 3 discerning juice drinker tips for you guys.
That's super helpful. And I'm so thirsty right now. I want to drink your juice.
I'll just teleport one to you through the screen.
Send one to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll post the link below this interview in case people want to check out the link to, it's a direct link to this cleanse. And if you want some help, getting through the cleanse, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. You can join my next round of If You Carb Cycle, where we'll be doing this cleanse. And actually, we'll be doing it right before Thanksgiving, which I think is
yeah. It is, yes.
But Kimmy, how else can people get a hold of you if they want to talk to you directly?
Yes, I will give you guys kind of 2 things. And Katie, maybe you write this down so you can include it below in your comments. If you guys are like me, I'm not a huge fan of posting questions out for the world to see in social media land. So I want to give you my personal email address. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. I've done juice cleansing work in any sort of way and fashion you could imagine. So I could be a pretty good resource for you. And it's just Kimmy@theweeklyjuicery.com. My name is KIMMYE @theweeklyjuicery.com. Or we have this thing called an order hotline. And, some people just want to talk with somebody before they order to ask questions. And that number, we man 7 to 7, generally Eastern time. Our customer service team, very, very knowledgeable about doing juice cleansing work and our juices, and can help you anytime. 888-550-3218. So we are happy to help you. We want to make sure that we're being good educators and helping transfer this knowledge. So feel free to reach out to us if you have a question, and we're happy to help. And I look forward to you guys trying it. I think you'll love it.
Yay. Thank you so much, Kimmy. I can't wait to get my next cleanse. Thanks, everybody.
You're welcome.
Happy
Take care.
Friday.
Thanks again for having me.
All right. Bye-bye.